Yeah. I can hear the one shit and basic.
All right. Welcome to Ladies of the Paranormal World with your host, Drusella, Dark Angel, and our VVIP returning guest, Eerifrog. So this was take two because we had a false start last time around. So we're going to try that again. Eerifrog, why don't you go ahead and recap what we talked about the last time we were on for those who weren't here when we were live
Yeah.
last time. Also, if our guests are here, if you have guests that are joining, they can ask questions live now. We now allow for live questions
Ooh,
and
fancy.
answers. So anytime that somebody wants to ask something, if you have members that are watching, please let them know. Feel free to go ahead and do their Q&A.
Sounds fun. Well, the last time I talked about, the laser tag company I worked for and was haunted, I didn't tell everything about that place, but told a little bit. Told about a little bit about Gettysburg. And the very first time I had my paranormal experience, a blue light that still scares me to this day.
Oh wow.
And we
Okay.
can't forget
So,
about your Dukes and Hazard car
yeah, my
jumping.
rolling over cars and jumping over them and jumping in windows.
That's awesome. I think that's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, they're like, "You're a big guy. Yeah, I can run too."
If I have enough motivation.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
When something chasing me, that's enough motivation right there.
Right. Exactly.
Like we always
Now,
say in our family, I don't have to be faster than everybody else. I just have to be faster than one person. I can actually
That's
trick
right.
that person to be faster.
yep.
That's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of our running jokes. But let's be honest. No bullshit. If there was ever in a zombie apocalypse, I don't care. I'm tripping you. I just see you faster than you are.
That's just wrong.
Okay. So you were saying that you have some new
Oh yeah,
experiences
some
you
brand
want to
new
share tonight as well.
experiences.
And again, welcome to anybody who's watching. If you have Q&As, please feel free to ask while we're streaming. We will answer you live.
There should be my family members coming in here too. The
It
fam.
looks like someone's in here at least.
But yeah, the new experience is we have a necklace on the door of our cross, right?
Hmm.
And the other night, that sucker started lifting up by itself across. I need a priest to come in, and the door handle starts shaking, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, I'm not going to open it this time. I listen to my body this time.
You're like, no, no.
So another night, we had that same door propped open, and we just see, stuff peeking around the corner, kind of looking at us like this. I see you. I'm like, I see you too. But it's interesting. It is interesting. It's never a dull moment. I did a spirit box session. I got the name Julia,
Oh
which
boy.
I did find out Julia did stay in our room and died in our room.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it kind of scares me.
Okay. That sounds
But
kind
she's
of.
harmless.
Oh, she's harmless.
Harmless. So it said.
So it's, so it's
So it said.
because it's harmless, sort of, maybe.
Sort of.
We don't know.
If it can lift across, I guess it is.
That's great. Okay. So, what other experiences have you had recently?
Oh, just the EVP sessions. My mom, like I said, my mom every morning, 3:33 a.m. on the dot, say my name, and I'll get up and go bathroom.
Hmm.
That's it. It's like a reminder every morning. So I know
Right.
she's there with me.
Oh
So
wow.
my
Okay.
lights start flickering on and off every now and then.
I don't know. I think if something starts to mess with my lighting and stuff, I'm probably yeah. No, I'm good on that. I don't. I don't do well knowing that my electricity is just fine, but that shit's all fucking whacked up.
Yeah, it's weird. It's definitely weird.
It sounds like it. Okay, so is there anything else that because we got an hour to fill, my friend? Is
Oh,
there
I got
anything else that
tons
has
of stuff.
happened recently?
Not recently, but well, yeah, a few more things. My wife, she saw like a ball of blackness run by her,
Oh.
and we'll smell perfume in here, and she'll look at me, be like, "Did you spray something?" I'm like, "No."
It's one of those. I definitely didn't. I promise.
Exactly. It's like, what's going on in here.
Right.
Did like the ghost tube thing, the app that I have came up and said, "Julia Allen, what do you want?" Stuff like that.
Right.
One even said, "Leave me alone." I'm like, "You leave me alone."
Oh, I know. I'd be like, hold on, who the fuck you talking to, son?
Exactly.
Hang on a minute. How did this end up
Ghost,
my fault? You came
ghost
in on
slap
me.
you.
Like, I don't
A
know.
ghost slap.
I think I would be kind of like creeped out to even take a shower or get dressed in a place that's haunted. I don't
Eh,
know. I don't.
you get used to it after a while.
Oh man.
You get used to it. You just shrug it off
I don't
now.
think I'd
You're like,
ever get used to somebody being in the bathroom with me while I'm taking a shower or
Right.
any of that stuff. I'd be like, that's it.
Right? Ain't that the fucking truth? I don't know, man. I'd be like, I'm gonna have to like,
We're gonna have to
maybe
figure
they're
something
enjoying,
yeah, we gonna have to
maybe they're
figure
enjoying the show. Who knows?
out. Like this ain't working for me, son. This ain't working.
I feel,
So
I
okay,
feel sometimes eyes on us. Sometimes though.
I was actually gonna ask: has there ever been a time where you've gone somewhere that you knew maybe not much about? Like, say you went out of curiosity, but you didn't know that much about it. Has there ever been a place that you've gone where you felt the presence before you even walked in the building? Like looking at the building enough creeped you out
Raymar's
before you
Hollow.
stepped foot inside.
Raymar's Hollow. It's a place in Pennsylvania called Raymar's Hollow. It's about some witch doctor for the Native Americans who was killed, but he was doing other stuff other than that, uh, demonic stuff. And
Hmm.
when we go to this hollow, they're always like left or right. I'm like right, left. Let's go this way. Let's go that way. They're like, how do you know where you're going? I was like, I don't. I just
I don't.
feel it. I feel this energy telling me to go this way. One time, my friend was possessed in there,
Oh,
and it took a while for us to get rid of that possession for him. And
that must have been um interesting.
Yeah,
luckily,
I'd have to agree with that assessment. Yeah.
I know how to get rid of it. Luckily,
Right.
it
You
takes a
like
while and it takes a lot of energy.
I was gonna say something like that. I think would trigger some kind of no fucking thank you.
I
Uh,
like. I used
I
to like
feel
when we
that
took
way going
skeptics.
to or going past any place in Gettysburg that
I
has
love
a major
Gettysburg.
amount of death.
I love Gettysburg.
I love Gettysburg. I just don't know how I would feel going inside of any of the buildings that were
Well, I
war
go in there
prone.
all day long.
Oh, war prone. I'm good on the
This
whole
time I won't jump over cars.
Are you sure about that?
I'm
It
sure.
sounds like anything real like you're like, oh shit, I gotta get in the car.
At least I don't have a car to jump into.
Oh, like I don't have a car now, so I can't do that.
Exactly. So yeah, Gettysburg is pretty interesting. I've had some bad vibes in Gettysburg before.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably not my one place that I would have to say would be Devil's Den. I don't know if you've been to it.
I love
There's
it.
a big formation of rocks up by what's like a watchtower, and down below there's the very large amount of rocks that they call the
Mhm.
Devil's Den. Have you ever or would you ever dare to go into such a place at night?
Of course, of course. Be
Even
like,
though
what's
they
up?
call it Devil's Den, although I'm not quite sure why they call it Devil's Den yet.
I don't know why either, but I would definitely go there at night. I've been there at night actually. You're not allowed to be there at night, so shh.
I was gonna say they kind of frown on that if you weren't invited.
So what we did was we zoomed up real quick in the car. We took some photos and went back in the car and took off. So that was it. We didn't really stay too long.
Yeah, no.
We didn't get caught. So
He's like, we didn't want to get caught. We
that's a
didn't want to get
hefty
screwed.
fine. But I would do it if they. I would actually do it overnight too if they allow me to do it.
You know, they do have during like Halloween time.
Mhm.
They have overnight tours that they do. But I don't know how much I would want to do an overnight tour because it usually involves a large group. And when you're doing something like that, you kind of want to
Yeah,
be away from the large crowd.
because you
Like you
don't
don't
know,
want to be surrounded by people. At least if you're trying to catch anything on camera or catch any evidence,
like
you don't really want to be
even
around.
things you don't know if it's a person or a ghost.
Right,
So
exactly. Like,
you're
am
like,
I catching
gotta throw it out
leftovers from people talking in the group? You
because
know,
you
I
don't.
think
You're
that
always
would be
going to have people, deny the paranormal. You're always going to have that, right?
right.
And my dad, I turned, like I said last time, turned him into a believer. He never believed in it. He's always like, there's science to everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
you kind
even
of have to go.
with those large groups, it's not like you can be like, shut up, I'm trying to do an EVP.
Yeah, right.
I don't.
Exactly,
I think
but
people. I
I
think
mean,
people frown upon that. You know.
yeah, but you can't be rude at the same time, of course. But like, if you see a shadow running, you'd be like, "Hey, did you see that?" And if somebody else says no, then you're like, "Okay, well, it's my word against yours."
Right. And like I said, it's I'm one of those people that when I do any kind of investigation, I like to be either on my own or in a small group with like one other person because then at least you can minimize the amount of interference, I guess you could say, or what's a good word for it? Looking for the word. It's right there.
Yeah,
It's right there.
I know what you're talking about.
But you can minimize it. You know, why
Yeah,
why would you want to have that many people
the
creating that
actual
much interference in an episode in an investigation? I'd prefer to be on my own.
that's just like I was watching a YouTuber. He was at Saks Covered Bridge and he did the cigarette test on Tennessee, and I'm like, dude,
Which one
that's
that
so
was?
awesome though. I'm
Are you
like,
talking
I
about
would
the one with the where he poured baby powder on the back of the car?
no, no. He did the cigarette test. So he smoked a cigarette and gave it to the Tennessee guy that apparently was hung at the bridge,
Mm.
and he actually smokes it. But he laid it right there, and you see it. That's weird. Weird. Wow.
I was
You haven't
gonna
seen that
say
one?
anybody can leave a cigarette burning though, and wind makes it burn faster.
True.
That.
But I actually want to see it
Hi, how are
myself.
you,
You know?
Warmstrong? Warmstrong, is
Oh,
that right?
that's one of my people's. What's up,
Welcome to the
Armstrong?
show. If you have any Q&As, feel free. We
That's my
definitely want to
brother
get
right there.
the audience involved. We enjoy it. Um, but yeah, anybody can really light a cigarette though and put it down, and if there's any wind
True.
whatsoever, it's gonna make it burn faster.
But how often does it get picked up like this?
Well, picked
You
up,
know,
no.
floating,
Yeah, I'd be like,
floating.
Picked up, I'd be like, yeah.
okay,
I'd
dude,
be like,
you can have your cigarette because I'm out.
right?
I'll
I'd be like, don't burn me.
go have my whiskey down at the bar.
Yeah, if I saw it off the ground in midair, I'd be like, okay, I'm I'm out. You enjoy the rest of that cigarette, okay?
But yeah, it's been quite an adventure going to Gettysburg a lot. One time we went up there and we saw like a reenactors doing a cannon fire. That was pretty cool.
That's another
Um,
one in Gettysburg you will hear a lot of. I think we
yes.
actually talked about that the other day. If you go out there at night, at least from what I've experienced, right about sunset ish, you can start hearing cannon fire from a distance. It's
Mhm.
really quite interesting. It's interesting.
One time I was at a non-fireable cannon, and
Mm.
you see smoke like it was fired right behind
Oh
me.
wow!
I'm like, okay, they shot me,
Ah!
shot past me at least,
Something.
Oh no!
They'd be like, shh, didn't get me.
Yeah,
right?
right. Um, but
So yeah,
yeah.
it's been
So
fun.
as far as other experiences, because we love experiences. Have you ever been to anything that felt dark or demonic? This is
Kilgore.
something I ask just about every guest at least once. Is have you ever experienced a haunting that was demonic or dark or negative in nature? Now, remind you, people who are watching our show, there is a big difference between a negative energy and a
Hmm.
demonic entity. Someone who died
No,
a traumatic death can carry with them a negative energy. A demonic entity generally attaches and attacks, and by so doing, they cause physical, mental, or otherwise harm to the people that they are in contact with intentionally.
so
Whereas a
that'd be
negative entity doesn't really mean to do harm, but however they died was either so tragic and they're so angry or so confused or whatever the circumstances were that surrounded their death. So
so that
before we
would
go into
be
that, I'll ask you if
Perry
you've
Man
been in those
Mansion.
kind of situations too. But I want to know first and foremost if you've ever interacted or been interacted with by any kind of dark or demonic entity.
It'd be Perry Man Mansion when I got picked up. Now, I'm a big guy. I was at that time I was weighing 600 pounds, and I was picked up by this evil spirit, 2 feet off the ground.
Mm.
So once it dropped me, I ran to the car.
There's the car again.
I was gonna say, there's that car.
Exactly.
Loves that car, man.
But this one in Perry Man Mansion is in Perry, Maryland, and apparently he pushes people out windows. He picks you up, and he's just evil all around.
Oh wow, okay.
Um,
Remind me
even
not to go
inside,
down
there's like demonic symbols and 666 stuff and stuff like that. So it's filled with negativity and demonic stuff. But
Okay.
when we went in there, me and the group, I was picked up, and another lady, she was shoved almost down the steps.
Oh gosh.
So that that's pretty frightening.
I have to agree. Yeah, that's definitely
Okay.
something I would
So
definitely
after I got picked up, she
look
was
into.
shoved. We ran to our cars and did the
Note to
Dukes of Hazzard
self.
thing.
Don't
Huh?
go there. I said, no,
Right.
Slid
don't
on the
That's
car
kind of
go
roof,
one
there.
of those.
the hood, I
Don't
mean.
exactly. Don't go there.
But I
I'm
slid on
good.
the car hood, and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Andre, thank you for coming, buddy.
Exactly. No, I'm good on that. Uh, Hi, Andre. It's nice to see you listening. Again, anybody has
Please.
Q&As, feel free to Q&A all you like. We will answer your questions live.
And sub
It
to
is
these nice
awesome to
ladies
see
here.
our guests
They're good
interacting with
people.
us. I enjoy it. And interacting with each other. This is totally super awesome. I love it. Um, Now, I've got a question for the audience. Has anyone watching us experienced a dark or demonic entity or experienced a dark or demonic haunting? Think about that. Put your answers alongside us. We'll definitely read them out. Uh, Now, in any of the investigations that you've ever done, have you ever been touched, scratched, bit, burned, heard knockings in three, the trinities, um,
All
anything like
the
that?
above.
Oh, okay. Well, how about we talk about the first time that you actually physically were touched then?
The first time. Wow. Um, I was 14, and I was in my basement in the house. It's dark and scary down there at night. Don't know why I went down there. Oh yeah, I was doing laundry. It's scary down there in that basement. Nothing but windows, and all you see is darkness.
Mm.
And I felt this hand on my shoulder, and it wasn't my hand. And I ran upstairs and got in bed. I'm like, nope, nope, nope. I'll wait till morning.
Yeah, but
Okay.
probably at that age, you're like, what? You
Yeah,
know, you're
exactly. When
you're
you're
more
14,
shocked than
you're
anything
like,
because you're like, what the hell was that?
exactly. You're like,
Right.
sometimes you like just shrug it off sometimes, and you're like, that was nothing.
Right.
Me,
Didn't
I
see
was like,
nothing.
I'll
Didn't
wait
feel
till
nothing.
morning.
Didn't exist. Didn't happen. It's kind of like one of those. If you don't acknowledge it, it didn't happen.
Exactly.
Right?
I
It's
don't
like,
know that it actually works that way,
hey, it's like when your
but
kids are little, right? And
Hmm.
they throw the blanket over their head and they think that you can't see them because they have a blanket over their head and they can't see you.
Yep. You can't
Same
see it. You can't.
concept.
They can't see you, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
I didn't see you. Hello.
right. Didn't see you. It didn't happen. Couldn't have possibly happened because I didn't see you.
Exactly. That's it. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I believe that if you were truly to just kind of jump under the blankets or hide in the laundry basket, if it's there, it's gonna know you're there.
Yeah,
It's kind of like thinking that the boogeyman's not gonna
that's your
see you because
safety
you cover
place.
yourself up with a blanket.
And he's,
That's your
you
safe
know,
place.
Chances are you just made it easier.
So you
well,
think it's
and
your
we
safe place.
probably, like we know that kind of stuff, but you know what? When we're younger, it's like the blanket and your bed is like the safest place in the world because you can throw the blankets over your head, curl up in
Yep.
your bed, and it's like you think nothing can touch you, nothing can do anything because you're on your bed with the blankets
Right,
over your head.
right, exactly. Like if
Exactly.
if if we're covered up, we're good. We're okay.
Exactly. And that was the very first time that you know it still scares me to this day. That basement.
Yeah, I can't say that I blame you. I
But
can't say that I blame you. I
look at me
definitely,
back
if
on
I
it,
was
it's like
young enough, I probably would have been like, yeah, fuck this. Like,
exactly.
we're done.
It was just a creepy vibe, even in our basement. It's just like it was just weird because there was a whole bunch of windows, and all you saw was woods, and you're like, oh man, this is wild.
Yeah.
Surrounded by
Nothing
Looks
but
like we
woods.
darkness.
lost our viewers. Did they take off on us? What happened?
Probably. They got other stuff.
Ah, I see. So this Halloween, do you have any plans for your Fright Night? Ours is going to be an all-month Fright Night. Speaking of which, I was going to talk to you about that. We are going to be in costume Fright Night
Costume. Oh,
all month long, October.
nice.
So, if you would like to join us as our guest in costume, that would be super awesome. We're going to see if we can get the other guests to do the same thing, liven it up a bit,
That sounds
see what
fun.
everybody is for, the month of Halloween. Because for me, Halloween isn't just the day of Halloween, it's the whole month. The whole month is Halloween.
Exactly. The whole month.
So,
And Halloween's
we're
my
going to have
favorite
fun
time of
with
year.
it. So, when you come back on, because I've got you scheduled, I believe, through next month as well, to definitely do our dress up and have fun with it.
That sounds fun.
So,
Yeah,
think about
Halloween's
it.
my favorite time of year.
Huh?
I love Halloween.
So do I. It is one of my, well, not one of, it is my favorite holiday.
It is my favorite.
And so, yeah, I mean, I
Spooky
think
season.
I'm going to go as what I went last year, maybe. I don't know. I haven't quite decided yet. But I went as a zombie corpse, like medieval time zombie corpse. Fuck it, why not?
We should go on a
Huh?
haunt.
Huh?
We should go on a hunt to Gettysburg.
Right? Right? Oh no, go on a hunt dressed like that and scare the shit out of whoever else is there.
Exactly.
Just
That
put
would
a
be me.
warning. That's it. Just put a warning.
Right?
That's
That
just
would
like,
be me all day. That would be
oh,
me all day.
I have another recent event. I do have another recent event. I forgot to tell
Oh, go
y'all.
for it.
So me and wifey, we thinking about moving in with our friend, and we went looking at a house the other day. As I'm walking through, I get chills. I'm like, there's something here, man. I don't like. Of
Mhm.
course, it was out in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by woods, and you're the only house there, and you're. But then, as we're talking to the lady outside, I see a shadow in the window looking down at us, and I'm waving. I'm doing this. And my wife looks at me. She goes, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm waving to the person up there." She looks up. She's like, "I see him too. Let's go."
She's like,
So
no,
yeah,
this is not the house.
that was something.
This
Oh,
is the second time we've had a ghost on our show. He's doing what Chun and or what Skinwalker and Wendigo are doing. He's kind of fading in and out of the background, so you can actually see through him. Like, are you sure you're not a ghost there, bud?
I am a ghost. Ooh.
He's a floating head. Now we have to ask you, because this is another question that Drusilla and I like to ask. It's kind of our go-to question. Ouija boards.
No,
Okay? Ouija
I
boards.
will
Have you messed with them? Will you mess
stand
with
there
them?
with
And
you.
what do you
I will not. Now, remember last time I told you about the Ouija board? So the last time I touched one, my friend took it home with him, and he's a few blocks away from me. And it ended up on my stomach the next morning.
Oh no. I
He's
remember
like,
you telling me about that.
and he's like, dude, how'd you get it? I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm scared. Let's just say that's at the bottom of the river. Locked
Right?
in
Like
something.
he Jumanji'd that bitch. Threw it off the bridge.
right. Put it in a thing,
So,
cement over it, toss it into like
because
the
we
Right.
heard
deepest part of the ocean
if
that you
you
can get it in.
if you burn it, it's 10 times worse. So we kind of just buried it in the water, and we took it to a different state.
Oh wow.
So it's buried in New Jersey.
Not only did you say screw this shit, but you said screw this shit, y'all can have it.
Right?
That's almost
It's
as
buried in
bad
the
as
water.
going, you know what? I hate this toy that my daughter has, so I'm gonna give it to y'all motherfuckers and let y'all have fun with it.
Now, what about y'all with the haunted Ouija boards and stuff?
Now, I absolutely positively refuse to have anything to do with a Ouija board. I won't even be in the same room with one. I've never
I
had any experiences because I avoid them like the plague. So,
I'd be in the same
personally,
room
that's
with it, but I won't touch it.
I
I will
avoid
not
them
touch.
like
I'll
the
be in the
plague.
same room, but I won't touch.
One of the biggest reasons I will absolutely have nothing to do with the Ouija board is, as we've said many times on the show, Ouija boards are a doorway, and you don't know what you're letting in once you've opened it.
So it's
You don't
mirrors.
know what you're inviting in.
Ooh.
You're making yourself vulnerable to a demonic attachment. You are making yourself spiritually open for an attack. And when you do that and you don't do it properly and you don't close that doorway, you've just decided to wreak
Yep.
havoc on whatever area you put yourself in. And no, I will, no, 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 where's
Maybe
that
that's
crap?
why I get haunted all the time now.
Exactly. A thousand
He's like,
times
that's
over,
probably it.
absolutely will not.
Because I didn't close it right, probably.
Priscilla, what were you saying?
I said he's saying that's probably why I'm haunted all the time. It's because of that damn Ouija board.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. You never know. But so mirrors are portal to the other side.
Yes, they're known as the word
They are
stand.
doorways also.
It's a continuous loop. So it's you're looking at yourself continuously through a set of mirrors. And they say that it works like a conduit, like another doorway or passageway to the spirit world. That's another
What I
thing I
want to
will not
do,
do.
I want to try spirit writing,
Oh,
where
what is
you
it
write
called?
a
Automatic
question in
writing.
your right hand, and then
You would
you
have to
answer
have
the question in
some.
your left hand.
I mean, do you have some level of psychic ability or medium ability? Because it's usually people that actually have a psychic or medium connection to the other world that do spirit writing or instant or automatic writing.
I feel like I have a connection to it. I feel like it, but
Like, have you ever had something use your body or your mouth or your personal self as a, uh, well, I guess conduit's
As
the
a
only word I can
microphone.
think of. Yeah, have you
once,
ever channeled? That's what I was looking for. Have you ever channeled before?
once,
Once. Okay, was this an
once,
intentional channeling or unintentional?
intentional.
Oh, okay.
Wanted to find answers, but there's a lot of answers I wasn't looking for.
Right. Well, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes you don't know. That's another thing I would be really careful with doing if it is something that you're going to do, because again, you're opening yourself up spiritually. You're allowing yourself
Exactly.
used spiritually. And you don't know what could decide to take charge and go, guess what? You're opening yourself. Cool. I'm going to slip right in there and fuck up your day.
Exactly. Which is weird because when I almost died, and I seen a bunch of people in the room,
Oh, no.
people that weren't there when I woke back up.
Mm,
So when I woke back up, I'm like, I have a theory now why people, go in comas and they come out of it
hmm
not knowing who people are. What if something else got in their body?
Right.
It's a
Okay.
theory. It's a theory.
I can see that.
I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh man, you're wrong," but when I almost died, I was actually dead for 2 minutes. I did see other people in the room that weren't. I don't even know. When I woke up, I didn't see them, but there were people there looking at me. I was floating above my body,
Oh, okay.
and then
Okay.
I heard my mom tell me it's not your time yet, and I woke back up instantly with them over me with the paddle things.
Oh,
I was like,
You're like, wait, don't. I'm
I was
Like,
like,
don't
don't stop
shock
me.
me, you'll fucking kill me, bro.
First words out of my mouth were, "Can I have some water?
Yo, I'd have been
I
like,
need
please
water."
don't kill me. Like, my ass is still breathing.
They're about to shock you,
And
and you're like, I need a glass of
their
water,
mouth dropped.
please.
As soon as I woke back up, their mouths dropped. They're like,
I'm sure it was. I'm
I'm
sure
like,
they were like, what this shit just happened, bro?
right? My doctor even said he's never seen nothing like that. I'm like, can I have water?
Like, I
I
don't
need
want to,
water.
like, no, my mouth is dry. Y'all tried to kill me. My mouth is dry. Um, okay, so as far as channeling, you've had one incident where you intentionally. Has there ever been an incident where you hadn't meant to and it happened? Or does this something that you actually actively look to do?
I was actually looking to do it. It was on a dare, though.
Those are always fun.
Yeah, but channeled something. I got in touch with my spirit guide, and he's not the most pleasant of things.
Right.
He's evil, but
Oh dear.
he means well.
He means well?
Yeah, he told me things that happened and that are true. So,
Oh man. Now we're gonna move into the other things. Drusilla, it looks like you've got a question. No? Okay. We were talking about the difference between negative entities or negative
mhm.
spirits and demonic. We've already talked about your demonic. Have you ever came in contact with a negative entity, not something that was intentionally out to harm you, but had some kind of tragic or traumatic death, and they kind of either reached out to you, clung to you, or were trying to get your attention and were affecting you personally?
That is a good one. I felt like that at the laser tag place. Something negative was there, and when I heard the door jiggling, I'm like, man, we lost the kid in there. God, man, we gotta go get him now, right? My body told me, don't open the door. And
Yeah.
I'm like, gotta open the door. So I opened the door, and I was hit in the jaw. Sucker punch. And I just seen this black shoulder run by me. And I'm like, what the hell, man? Next day, my jaw was hurting. But, and then ever since that night, you kind of hear him at night, like he's arguing with somebody, but you can't make it out. It was wild.
Okay. Is it because maybe you're more aware of the presence, or
Perhaps.
you
Ever
think
since
you're
that
just
night,
more active because he knows that you know his presence is there?
we never had a problem until that night. And it's like, I don't know what happened, but it's like something negative was there.
Okay. Drusilla,
We
what do
heard
you
this.
think?
Yeah. He told us this last time, and I'd be like, you just punched me in the face, dude.
Yeah, right. I got sucker
I
punched
ain't ever
by.
doing nothing again. Like, you can knock, you can talk, you be by yourself, okay? Because you just punched me in my face. I'm done with you.
Right? Okay, so here's one for you, and really
Pretty
think
wild.
on it, ponder it a bit. Have you ever had anything emotionally affect you? Something
Emotionally.
that made you cry for no reason, made you angry, but you didn't know why?
That's a good
BRB,
one.
Drusilla, take over for a minute.
That's a
I
good
gotta
one.
use the restroom.
Crying. I've had things make me upset. Um, Crying. I would say no on that one. No one crying. Angry. I've had a lot of that. A lot, just angry for no reason. Um, like I said, I fought my demons when I was going back to high school and stuff. I fought demons, and they would just make me angry.
Like 1 minute you'd be totally fine, and the next minute you're like raging mad.
Yeah, to where I always got into fights. Yep.
That must have been like crazy for your school years.
Not really. My school's used to it.
They were
The
used to
school
you fighting.
used to people fighting. Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about like personally within you. That must have been like,
Oh, they
you
didn't care.
know,
They didn't care. Uh,
because I know if it was me and I felt like okay, and then all of a sudden I was like raging mad, I'd be like, man, what the hell, like that's a lot of shit I have to deal with because, you know, it must be like emotionally draining. You're okay, and then you're not. And it seems like for you, you had tons of those. So I think, wouldn't it be draining? Wasn't it draining on you
it
to
was.
be
It
able
was.
to like flip flop like
It was.
that?
It was taking a lot of energy out of me during the days. My dark time, I call it. Um, I was fighting demons back then. I wasn't right back then. Something was definitely wrong, and it wasn't me.
Do you think something had you in its grasp?
Basically, you can say that. Yeah. And then once I
Did
left
it
where I
just
left,
like automatically stop, or did you
it stopped
do
when I
something
left.
to?
When I moved to Florida, it stopped. So once I moved out, it stopped.
So it was like your house that you think?
I think so. I think so. But I don't know
Okay.
who it was. It was definitely a wild experience for me.
Have you ever felt like, an entity or multiple entities were trying to tell you something so you could vocalize it to somebody? Maybe, like the reason why they died, or, like, does that make sense?
This one time at the laser tag place, I keep going back to where I work. Um, that was a fun place, by the way, working at a laser tag place. But we would go in there and we would hear like multiple people. Like it seemed like they were yelling, but they were so far away we couldn't hear them. Like they're trying to tell something, and we couldn't hear what they were saying. We couldn't understand it at the time. So, and I would yell
And
out, "Speak louder!" Nothing.
did you ever take like an EVP and like ask questions after you had those experiences there?
No. So back then there was just experiences. That's it. Um, we didn't have the equipment. We just there's a few of us that just went in and we heard all these things, and
Sorry about that, guys.
most of the time we come out running.
Okay.
Welcome back.
It was back in the time when basically everybody, you had the people that did believe, but a majority of people thought you were crazy.
Yeah,
Got it.
my dad was one of them. Thought I was nuts for doing it. Um, I keep telling them there's stuff out there, man, but he wouldn't believe me till that day in the graveyard. So
Okay, so I have another question, and it's kind of lingering in the back of my mind here. say, hypothetically, you're on a camping trip. Everybody's sharing ghost stories. Because we know how everybody likes to do them ghost stories, right? Gets dark, gets creepy, you can hear all the animals outside, and you want to scare the shit out of your best friends. What story do you tell your friends at this camping trip? I have to know.
Whew. There's so many to tell on that one. um, I got one. So one time I was asleep in my house and I was awoken by the closet door. And my one eye opened and I see a hand push open the closet door. And I'm like, okay. So I keep watching with one eye open. And I see this face just look at me and just stare. And it stared at me for an hour.
Oh, hell no.
And
2
I'm
seconds
watching
is
this
too
thing
long.
for an hour. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And
I don't think I would have sat there for the full hour. Be
it
like,
was
is this some
weird
kind of
because
staring contest?
I've heard stories about this thing. It's called the top hat ghost. I never believed it until that day. But after that, didn't see him again.
Oh, okay. So maybe a
Just
freak occurrence?
stared like this with eyes wide open. All I saw was a face and a beard and his top hat. And I'm like, good thing I didn't have a gun. I would have shot it.
You put a hole in the damn walls with it.
I'm sitting there going,
Luckily, I didn't have a gun. There'd be a couple
and I'm
holes
like,
in the wall.
where is my knife?
Man, okay, so that's a pretty good one. I personally have my own lovely campfire story, but Drusilla, what would be your campfire story?
Yes, what would
My
be yours?
campfire story wouldn't be ghosts, okay? Because I mean I have those experiences and everything, but I'm used to that.
Right.
Mine would be the day that me and Wendigo were taking a dog to Arizona because we worked with a rescue. So we were dropping the dog off to its new adopted owners. And we were driving, and the area that we were driving in was mostly desert, but it did have those plateaus that they have. And I'm driving, and I kind of glance over to my left side, and what I thought looked like a dog. I was like, dude, that's like a coyote or something. Or Wendigo looks over and he goes, yeah. But then the thing started running, got up on 2 feet, continued to run, got back down on 4, and kind of disappeared the plateau. And me and Wendigo are sitting. Did you see that? Yeah, I saw that. I said, dude, if you have to pee, you're going to have to figure out something because I ain't stopping. There's no way we're going to get far away from here before we do any kind of potty breaks or anything.
You better.
Exactly. I was like, oh, I ain't stopping. I am not stopping.
No.
And he was like, I don't blame you. Keep going. So, yeah. Would be my scary story because that scared the shit out of me. I've had experiences through my life, but nothing that's really been like, oh my goodness, lock my doors, roll up my windows,
Right.
So yeah, Wolfman after you.
Mine was actually while we were at that lake, when we were living in the tent at the lake, or staying at the tent in the lake, at the lake. The one where
Okay.
Caitlin and I got toe to toe.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a huge, like, firewood pile there. That's where we would go, grab the wood, and come back. And I got sent by myself in mountain lion territory, no less,
Mm.
to this fucking wood pile, okay? And no, mine is not a ghost story. This is a bobcat or a mountain lion scared the piss out of me, and I turned tail and went the other way. Um, but we had gone up there, and we were watching, or we were getting firewood for the day, and it was me by myself. Go fucking figure. The one time I'm all by myself.
The one time.
And I had gotten up to the top of the woodpile where it was like closest because I just wanted to get the shit and get back to the camp. I didn't want to be there any longer than I
Like,
had
I
to
don't want to
be.
be at the
Spot
bottom where I
already
have to
creeped
start
me out,
pulling shit out.
right? Like the spot already creeped me the fuck out. The last thing I wanted to do was be there longer.
Exactly.
So literally, I got to the top of the woodpile trying to grab the biggest pieces to last the longest. So I had to go back, and all of a sudden I start hearing this snarling. And I'm like, what the shit is that? Well, I fucking see in the distance something moving over the top of the logs in the far end of the freaking woodpile. Yeah, y'all tried to get me eaten by a lion, okay? A mountain lion. Y'all motherfuckers were out there to get me fed to something. Because I seen the tail and the ears of that thing. I said, fuck this shit. I hightailed it back. Mom goes, you didn't bring back any wood? No!
Be like, go get it.
You go get the wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember if you even remember that day, but I literally
Oh, I
was like
remember that
coming back
day.
like, no,
I remember
y'all
that
motherfuckers
day.
go get the wood.
You know, we joke about how pale you are, but like seriously, you were like crazy pale that day.
Oh, ghost ass white.
Like she saw a ghost.
Oh,
It was, dude.
she was scared out of her mind, and you could see that she was scared out of her mind.
I was too. Because they told us, they go, just make a bunch of noise, nothing's gonna happen. Yeah, bitch, you go.
That's what they say, but yeah, sure.
You go get eaten. I want to live. Yeah, that was an interesting time. But that would be my campfire story, but only because it literally scared the ever living shit out of me. To the point where I was like, nah, fuck y'all. You go get the fucking firewood. You're on your own. I guess we ain't got fire tonight.
No fair tonight. I seen a similar story on YouTube on I think it was Chills when the campers went out and this mountain lion came in.
Yeah, see, I don't fuck with them. See, no,
No,
mountain lions are mean. They want to eat you.
I don't fuck with nature. I'm not Steve Irwin.
Oh, and another thing that you hear about in Washington, especially, is Bigfoot or Sasquatch, however you want to
Yeah,
call it.
Florida
Yeah.
too. Florida also,
That's a West Coast, major West Coast
especially
paranormal
the
or
Everglades in
cryptid
Florida.
story that you'll hear a lot of people tell is that they'd seen
That they've
or
seen the Sasquatch.
or
I
come
still
face
want to
to face
find
with
Goat
it or been
Man.
attacked by it.
I'm gonna find Goat Man here. I'm gonna find him
The goat
so I
man.
can
I
jump over
thought it
cars
was a
again.
Jersey Devil.
Yeah, we have Goat Man here in
Yeah,
Maryland.
there's Goatman's Bridge I've heard of.
Yep. There's
And I've heard
also
that is a really scary bridge, and Zach Baggins had his very own personal attack on that bridge. People have said that they've gone to that bridge and they would go there just fine. They would leave bitterly angry or feel like they're choked. Um, some really bad things happen from what
it's
I've
just funny.
heard on that
I've been
bridge.
to that bridge many, 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 many times. Not one experience. Not one. And it's supposed to be Crybaby Bridge here. I know each state has one,
Mm-hmm.
but I ain't heard no baby cry. I didn't see no goat man. Didn't see nothing. Been disappointed many times.
Yeah. Ghost Man's Bridge, or Goat Man's Bridge, not Ghost Man's Bridge. He's Ghost Man's Bridge. No,
Ghost
Goat
man.
Man's Bridge, I have heard, is haunted by a demonic entity or a very, very
Hmm.
ancient dark entity. It's
That's what
not.
they say, but I haven't seen nothing there, and I've been there hundreds of times.
I've never been. I've never been. I'm sure it's one heck of a ride, but those are the ones that I kind of raise my eyebrow out at. Same thing with the what's it, children's train crossing or something like that. You put baby powder on the back of your vehicle and
No,
supposedly
yeah,
it pushes you over the tracks and you can see
yep.
hands or fingerprints.
Yeah, no.
That one they actually debunked as the
Yeah,
oils from your fingers being left imprinted on your vehicle, because when they did it with a clean window, the vehicle still moved, and even though it looks like it's going uphill, it's actually downhill, so your car is actually just rolling with gravity.
that's
Because
it.
when they cleaned the back of the car and they put the baby powder on, there was no fingerprints, there was nothing there, it just was gravity.
Just gravity.
Okay,
That's all.
but
Um,
question about that because I haven't seen that or whatever.
I've seen it.
Do you just put your car in neutral? Like, how is your
Put it
car
in neutral.
neutral?
So
Okay, well, why
they
would
say
you
if you
put
put
your
your
Julian,
car neutral,
first off, get your sister a juice. Second of all, it is past your bedtime.
so yeah, they say if you put your car neutral, it will go up a hill and over the train tracks. But it's an optical illusion where the hill looks
Yeah,
like it's up when it's really down.
yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna be like, why would you just stop your car in neutral?
That's not.
Exactly.
No, I said I need to
You
hold it.
know, just
Yeah, hold on.
did somebody decide, oh, I'm gonna throw my car in neutral and get out?
Yeah, right.
That's basically
Now,
it.
if you get
Or
out of it,
get out of the car and let it roll.
that'd be kind of
There's a
scary.
ghost
Your
there.
car rolling without you.
Yeah, like I would have been.
Well, things
I like
people
I said, I
believed
never
for a
heard
very
of it
long time that it really
before.
was the
I
bridge
never heard of
itself,
it
but it
before,
really
but if
isn't.
somebody had told me, oh yeah, you have to put your car in neutral and it'll go over the train tracks, I'd be like, why are you putting your car in neutral? How's that going to prove anything? Like your car moves in neutral.
Well,
I can push a car in neutral.
we can't really put it in park and have it move because that would mess up your tires.
Right.
But that would be questionable there.
Yeah,
If
Yeah.
the car was in park,
And it
it'd
still
have more
moves.
of a question. Did something
Yeah, you'd
actually
have a
move
little
the
more
car?
validity to it.
Yes.
each state
Because
has
it's
that
hard to push
gravity
a
hill
parked
too.
car. Now, let's be honest. Have you ever tried to push a parked car?
Yes,
I flipped the car.
I have because
Pushing
I needed to
pushing a
push a
parked car
car.
is a biatch.
It needed to push a car off to the side of the road. Told one of the boys, get in the driver's seat, turn it into neutral
Yep.
so I can push.
Yep.
Yeah,
No, they had it in park, and I'm sitting here trying to push this car, and I'm
Oh
like, what
God.
the hell?
Like, do you guys
I've
not
actually
realize you have to
flipped
put
the
it in
car.
neutral so I can fucking move the car?
Yeah,
That, if a car's moving in a parked position, I would have to question it because it is a absolute bitch to move a parked car.
yeah.
That's right. That
Okay,
would be some amount of strength.
I'm straight on that one. Like, it would need quite a few people to push and move a parked car. Now
Me and
that
my
I can
friend
like
flipped the car.
validity. to because it requires effort. If something has the ability to push something that requires effort across railroad tracks, whether it's uphill or downhill, then yeah, I'm more likely to believe it. But because they put it in neutral, I have to agree with Drusilla on this one. It's too easy for it to be gravity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
too easy.
Especially even though it looks like it's going uphill, but it's actually going downhill. Yeah.
Yeah. So that for me, I when they debunked it, I was like, thank God someone's got some brains. Because gravity will do it all by itself. Even if you have it in neutral and it's flat, it's still going to move a little bit
Right.
because there's nothing stopping it.
Oh,
So yeah, but that's one of the few places that I raise my eyebrow at, and I go, yeah, no, I don't know about that.
now the place I really want to go to is Waverly Hills.
You know, I've heard a lot of people have gone there and had a lot of activity. Not just, I see this, I see that, but actual captured on video, audio, uh, spirit box evidence, you name it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been caught. It's been
that's
seen.
a place I really want to go. That's
I
my
want to get Penhurst.
dream.
That is my number one go to is
And
Penhurst.
Penhurst.
Hmm.
That and Penhurst. My two.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah. Penhurst is definitely on my to-do list. I've got a couple other ones, but they're out of the country, so it's a little harder to go to them.
Yeah,
But that one,
Castle.
East State Penitentiary, that's another good one. Or Eastern State Penitentiary, I think it is.
Yeah, me too.
And Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
What about the Tri County?
The what?
Tri County? The one that's
Um,
between Maryland, West Virginia, and all that.
I feel like I should know this one, and for some reason I can't think of it. If you know the name, ladies and gentlemen, those watching us, shout it out because I can't seem to think of it for the life of me.
Yeah,
Like,
all I know is
send me
called
a
Tri
picture of something.
County something.
Tri-County.
Now, I've
You know,
been
it sounds
to.
familiar, and it should sound familiar because I'm on the East Coast, but for some reason it just isn't clicking.
I'm getting older in my old age, so I can't duck and dodge no more. But I went to Glendale Hospital years ago, and I ducked and dodged through all the traps and everything, and tried to get in there. I got in there. I saw a wheelchair move. I ran out. Haven't been back since.
Um, I gotta ask you because I have someone that's trying to figure out how to do the questions on this. Uh, do they have to have a channel to do it, or can they just do it? Like they should be able to just ask the questions, right?
Right.
Okay, well I've got someone who's trying to ask questions. She's watching, but saying it needs her to create a channel, but it shouldn't. She shouldn't have to.
That's weird.
I'm asking her right now because I don't understand why it's doing that.
Me either.
Shoot, I don't even know how to work this, so I wouldn't know how to answer or ask questions or nothing.
There she is. See, I told you didn't have to.
At least y'all got it because I'm sitting here.
What? You don't have to
You're-
create a channel,
You're talking about it, and I'm sitting here. Well, where would I type?
right? you
I'm looking on my end and going.
You don't. We have the private chat, but I can, and our guests can. So when she said she had to create a channel, I was like, no.
Like, no, you don't.
People to just comment. But so again, I'm going to ask this question to my viewers, and I will always, as always, go back and any one of us, all three of us, doesn't matter. We answer them live as it comes up on the screen.
See, question for all three.
But question for my viewers: have you ever been to a place that is haunted? If you have you ever had anything demonically attached to you? Have you had dark entities attached to you? If you've had anything attached to you at all, or you've had anything happen to you in a haunted place, leave me a comment. leave me a message. Look me up on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook at Ladies of the Paranormal World, written as it is on the
Alice says
title.
she has a question for us.
Yeah, for all
Go
three of
for
us.
it. Ask your question.
Ask away.
And I will answer. If I don't answer your questions in this episode, I will most definitely answer it in the next. Wow. This is my best friend for you. Just saying. What's your scariest
She missed our
encounter, Eerifrog?
scariest. She missed my scary encounter.
Yeah, she
Oh
missed your
man,
scariest encounter.
mine was this place called Kilgore. Um, Kilgore just scares me because it's like a medieval horror type thing. Guy went crazy, killed his wife, his kid, and himself. And so we go there at night, of course. The best time to go, of course. And we hear this loud scream, woman screaming. First thought, I'm like, let's go check that out. And then I heard a loud crash. I'm like, second of all, no. And I jump over the car, the hood of the car. I jump through the window into the passenger side door. So, and then many, many other experiences with that place. But that's my scariest one. I haven't been back since then.
I don't know, man. I think the place that picked you up and slammed you would be the place I'd never go to again.
Yeah, right.
I would love to go back there. Actually, I would love to go back there.
I'd be like,
You're
no.
afraid of the scream. You won't go to where the scream crash happened, but you'll go where you were physically like beat up, bro. For real?
Exactly.
That
Because
would be the one I'd say, fuck that shit. Been
the
to a haunted
scream,
bridge with
that's
many
weird.
myths
With many
behind it,
myths.
and I swear I heard something tap on the glass, and it was fucking witching hour. Girl, you know, we had another instance that happened in the witching hour, and you'll have to tell that one. I've already told it enough times, but you can tell it on this one. Of course, we'll see your comment. And so will everybody else. So, but the witching hour is between who can answer? Witching hour. What's the witching hour, guys? You're in the
To me,
paranormal
it's
field.
3 in the morning.
Paranormal world. Yes, with you. The paranormal world. Everybody knows what time the witching hour is.
To me, it's 3 in the morning.
3:33. 3:33.
That's
That's when my
bad.
mom wakes me up
You know why?
every
Because
day.
it's said to make the markings or the mockings of the Trinity. So everything that
That's
goes
when my
bump in the
mom
night
wakes me up.
supposedly happens at 3:33.
That's bad.
Yeah,
It's
That's
not
3 a.m.
there.
Right.
true was.
Huh?
But like I said, it's not there. That's not there during the day.
My
I
silent
If
mean, you
it's
can
there,
get
it's
all
gonna
kinds
be
of
there.
activity in the daytime, but they say that the majority of what you get, the majority of the bump in the night that you get is about between 3 and 3:33 in the morning.
Oh no, I
my
have some
almost
scary encounters for the day.
my almost silent partner over here with his remarks. You were like, well, what's witching hour? And he said, when the booze runs dry.
What?
The
That's a good
booze
one.
runs dry.
Dude, you ever seen it at a casino?
When the
Fucking-
booze runs.
That's a good one. I like that.
fucking everybody.
That is good. That's probably about 3 o'clock in the morning too. Which scary encounter we have had many? The one on Fort Monroe. The one that made you go, fuck this shit. What?
He just stubbed his foot being
Oh,
weird.
oh no. I didn't mean to laugh. Yes, I did.
See,
I'm
talking
an
about booze.
So that was your scariest. My
You
scariest.
stubbed your foot again.
Oh, She says, "Oh Jesus, yeah," because I swear I heard a fucking scream and it was not mine. If it was yours, you would have
Yeah,
deafened
once
the
you hear,
entire car.
once you hear a person scream, it's not the most soothing sound.
Next
What?
Friday, dude.
Oh,
I dress you up in my uniform and send you to work.
the other night, I peeked my head out here, and I heard a woman's voice way out there. I don't know
I
if you
can't.
guys can
You
see
have
it,
to take off your background for us to see it, but
but
you have to actually take off the background for us to see where you're
I don't
pointing.
know how to do that. But across from these woods, and I heard a scream from the woods the other night. Now I'm like, nope, I'm not looking.
So wait a minute,
Nope,
I'm back here with
I go back
fingers.
No,
inside.
it was fucking hysterical.
Shut up, buddy. We're getting ready for work.
Sorry, go ahead. My friend says the worst part is that I was laughing at her when she heard the scream.
I am buying a pack of cigarettes at work. Sure that
That's because paranormal stuff doesn't scare me anymore.
Oh, by the way, that was yours.
But yeah, you said you heard someone scream from across the bridge, or is that what you said? Across the bridge, or way
From
over there?
across the way, I'm like, nope, I'm going back in. Having to be midnight. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I'm good on that. She says, and I'm the skeptic here. I bet you ain't skeptical anymore.
Are you
Watch
accepted now?
Skinwalker Ranch.
Don't be like that.
Watch Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch. You won't be a skeptic anymore.
I would love to go there.
Shit happens there.
I want to go
Right.
there.
I want to go there so bad.
I want to go
do.
there.
I want to go there, and
I
I
go
want
to a
to
lot
stay
of
there for
places.
like a month.
Right?
I definitely want to go to a lot of
Be
places.
able to live there and feel the atmosphere. It's crazy. What do you mean? You were a skeptic until Mama's funeral. How? What happened at Mama's funeral? You didn't tell me this.
Talking about paranormal.
I'm guessing when I saw her when we released her ass. You saw her? You didn't tell me this.
Uh-oh.
Who's mama?
Well, now you have something new.
Right? I didn't even see her when we were releasing her
Yeah,
ashes.
released her ashes.
Not all of them. I still have the ones that are for everybody to take home.
Not you to, call it up.
I released the majority of them, but not all of them.
My back.
But I didn't know that. She was behind me?
Oh.
How am I just now hearing this? Like, for real? And she was the skeptic, by the way.
She was far less skeptic than you think.
I think
No,
that's
not
my time to
not your
call it
sister.
a
Oh.
Alice. So she was a skeptic.
Alice was a skeptic before Mama's funeral. And I didn't release all of her ashes if Uncle's worried that I got rid of all of them.
No, he was trying to figure out what was going on because he only caught like bits and pieces.
Yeah, Alice said that it looked like she was smiling at us. We will be be okay, knowing we will be okay. I didn't even know that had happened. Very much so. An angel tried to convince me so many times. LOL. I did. I tried so hard to get her to understand that there's so much more out there in life than she believed. And now she's seen it for herself. And I'm so mad at you for not telling me that you saw her.
My back.
Yeah, I didn't know
Okay.
that had happened. So my best friend had an experience she didn't tell me
My phone is possessed now.
my mom, which will be. No, you didn't, Boo. I would have remembered
Okay.
that one. Um, but my mom's 1 year anniversary is coming up, so that's kind of a touchy subject for me. But
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, my
I didn't
my mom
forget
been
easily.
gone
I wouldn't
10
have
years.
forgot that. Wouldn't have forgot that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up because we are hitting actually well after my hour mark. Um, so I'm gonna play my outro here, and then we're going to say we'll say our byes now. And then I'm gonna play the outro. Don't go anywhere, Eerifrog, though, because we gotta set up for next week.
Sounds good.
Can't think. But thank you for
I
watching,
got many
ladies
more stories to
of the
tell you.
Paranormal World, with us today. You've been here with Dark Angel, Drusilla, and our VVIP, Eerifrog. And 1 second. Me and my technical, I have yet to figure out how to work my technicals.
Because I made a stupid comment saying I was gonna hit him again and use like.
Because I'm still learning how to do the technical part of everything.
Okay, I understand why you
Thank you again for everybody who has joined us. Share, like, subscribe. You want to get on and get in on the action? Post your comments. We will answer them.
understand it. I really understand it. But don't instigate it further.
Denying the fact that I can